everyone, and welcome to another episode of Connecticut at your service. My name is Carmen Nieves, and I am your host. And on this show, we feature everyday individuals making a difference in our community, either by who they are or what they do to serve our great state of Connecticut. And today, I have such an awesome honor of introducing you to Joe Roman and Nino, right? Who is an actor, a writer, and a producer. Joe, first, let me just start by saying, I know you were homegrown in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Tell me a little bit about you.
Yes. Thank you, first and foremost, Carmen, thank you. Just for this platform and for having me. What's up, everybody? Yeah! So, born and raised, Bridgeport bred. I've been here since, I was made. And I went to Harding, Housatonic. I've been in the arts since I was 19. Did plays in New York, and it's just good to be back home. My family is, friends is here, and give back, build community, restore hope, and transform lives through, my projects, whether they're plays or films like The Port.
Listen, I heard you sing and everything, so I don't know. So when we're talking about Bridgeport, born and bred, of all the things that you're doing. So I know that you have a long-standing career in the media arts. So I know that you're an actor, you've lived in California. So tell me, what motivates you in your work? And first, I want you to contain your energy. Okay?
Oh, I'm trying.
I like the both of us, forget it.
I'm feeding off your energy. So what motivates me? Inspiration. I love telling stories that inspire people, that make people think, that motivates people. Don't get me wrong, I play a bunch of roles. I collaborate with other theater makers, filmmakers. But when it comes to my projects, inspirational studios, projects, I write projects that make you think, that make you go, yeah, I can do that. Si se puede. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So things like that. And a lot of times I write stories that I felt, that I went through, whether in my youth, like for example, The Port is about me and my friends growing up back in the day, or like for example, my first one-man show, It Ain't Easy Being Golly. That was something when I was in my mid-20s, I kept saying, it ain't easy being golly. And I said, why isn't it ain't easy being golly? Oh, that's why. Let me start writing. And I asked God, I said, God, show me something that I haven't done yet. What can I do? And that was it. Mm-hmm. And that's when I began writing. Because before, I was always, waiting for others to call me, whether it's an audition, a project. But then one day I said, hold on, you got to create while you wait. So I tell all my actors, I'm also an acting coach. I say, listen, don't wait for people to hire you. Hire yourself. Write. Take some classes. Like I had one of my mentors in New York. He's a good writer. I take classes with him. My mentor, 2-time Tony Award winning Broadway producer, just share stuff, mentors me. We need mentors, So I always tell people, get a mentor,
I think that one of the things when we were talking about before, we were talking about that networking is really key. And not only just networking and meeting people, but helping other people really puts you in the right place. Do you have any great story to share about kind of being in the right place at the right time and what happened with that?
Wow, I have so many stories, but I'll tell you my latest story. All right, so for example, I'm part of a group called Theater Makers in New York with other playwrights. And my mentor said, Joe, come to Palm Springs, California in November, and we got this weekend workshop. So I went, I learned a lot, and I mean a lot. But while I was there networking with other playwrights, I met an off-Broadway producer. So we kicked it off, we started talking. Next thing you know, I sent him a video of my one-man show I did at Housatonic. He said, Joe, I love it, hilarious. Dude, you gotta come and audition for my off-Broadway show, 1 in a Million. I said, cool, but isn't that a musical? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I never sung before, dude. He's like, it's all right. So I started taking classes, singing classes, dancing classes. I go to audition, next thing you know, I book it. So come September, come to New York, 1 in a Million, musical. I'll be singing, la, 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 la.
So one of the things that you said earlier in the show is that you have to create while you wait. And we were talking about that I was looking on your website, and you've listed all the many, many things that you did, and then somewhere around maybe late 2018, early 2019, I didn't see a lot of activity. Did COVID affect you? And how did you flip that? Because you flipped it, baby. You flipped it.
No, baby. God got me. COVID had let me tell you something. COVID had nothing on me. Matter of fact, during COVID, you know what I was doing? We were filming quarantine sitcom, which you can watch right now on layflix.com. Me and my filmmaker, just the two of us. He wrote it based off my characters from my one-man show, and next thing you know, while everything was going crazy, shutting down, we were at my house in Virginia filming. So no, COVID did not. And then and on my website, where you see the slow activity, that was my one-man show. It ain't even godly. I took a break from that, and then I started doing other stuff. So nothing ever slowed down. Work was good. And when you know what? To all my artists out there, when it does slow down, you know what you do? Go support other artists, because that's what I did. When work always gets slow, even when it's busy, I'll reach out to my fellow artists. I'm like, hey, what you got going on? You know, that is also a great networking tool. Support others. Because I always tell my actors, we need to be in a community together. When you put yourself, artists, in a community of other artists, things happen. Trust me, a lot of times I don't have to audition because people know my talent. Plus, we got that bond. We connected, and the rest is history. I stay working.
It's opportunity, right?
Opportunity.
And we've got to support each other because it doesn't matter what line of business you're in. There's enough for everybody. Hay suficiente para todo el mundo. I got to give it Spanglish because I know me and you. We
Amen. Amen.
So so you were talking a little bit about supporting other artists and things like that. And sometimes when there's no work, you got to create work. One of the terms that you used while we spoke was that you're doing everything on a guerrilla level. Tell me what that means. What does it mean to be on the guerrilla level?
Guerrilla filmmaking, baby. We're just taking it. For example, the port. How we get the money to do it? We did a crowdfund based off a company in Los Angeles. Fanny, Avenida Studios. I love y'all. Thank you. They helped me raise the money to film this. Next thing you know, I'm my own cast director. I found a DP. Edwin Escobar. Love you, man. Actors, I just put out social media. I did something different. I do things different. I don't do it Hollywood. When it comes to my projects, I do it different. So I started looking at people's pictures. And I said, cool, you fit this guy, you fit that character, awesome. Now let's start rehearsing. All right, and then next you know, I start networking. I start reaching out to business owners, entrepreneurs. Help me help you. How can we barter? You know, how can I put you out there? So I went to people like Kelvin Ayala, Boulevard Karaoke. He's going to help out. Frankie's Diner in Bridgeport. He's going to help out. I just want to talk. You got to talk. You know, and I met so many actors that it's hard for them to talk. I'm like, no, you're an actorpreneur. You're an actorpreneur, baby. All right? You got to go out there. I mean, it's almost like being a politician. ¿Cómo está? How you doing? You know, and not being fake. Be real. You know, hey, this is, you know, get to know people. Get to know them. And then at the end of the day, ask for help. People are scared to ask for help. You know, don't be scared to ask for help. As an artist, we're a writer, we're a director, producer, marketer. You're not just an actor. No. An actor acts, like I said back there. So what are you acting? If you're not acting in a class, in a film, a play, a commercial, what are you doing? You know, network, write, create, support. You know, I think a lot of times people don't understand, as an actor, you should support other artists.
Absolutely.
Because I learn too. I'm always learning. You know, so when I go to productions, you know, after the a couple weeks ago, I was watching one of my playwrights' plays in off-Broadway in New York. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it was based off Indian culture. So I learned more about Indian culture, which was awesome. So I think that's big. Like, if you don't got nothing going on right now, man, cheer up. Your time is coming. Stay positive, stay optimistic, si se puede, and dream big because God got you.
You act like you're closing and we're definitely got more to go.
No, my baby.
So, this is a live show. We come on every Tuesday. So we're going to put up the phone number on cue, and we're going to take some calls a little bit later in the show. So just make sure that you pay attention to the phone number. You can call in. You can ask Joelle some questions, and we're going to keep rock and rolling. So one of the things that so we've been stepping forward and we're gonna step back. But I have to say, I know that you're in education.
Yes.
Right? So I thought that I was like, 'cause when I called you on the phone, I heard kiddos in the background. I'm like, where you at? He's like,
Yes.
I work in the school system. Tell me a little bit about that. And I imagine that part of your inspiration comes from that too.
You know what? It's such a rewarding job. I'm what you call a registered behavior technician. So I work with kids on the autism spectrum, and I have adults patients too. And I used to work on their behaviors, and I parent train their parents how to help them too. Communicate, play, socialize, I do all that. And yes, I incorporate what I do at work in my shows. Matter of fact, in my one-man show, It Ain't Easy Being Godly, I created a kid, a young man who had autism, and allow him to speak, because sometimes they don't have a voice. So I wrote this monologue about patients of mine that shared things like, Joe, I just want to be loved. Joe, people don't understand me. Joe, I don't want to do it, I just do it. I'm like, really? So I start writing. I didn't use their names, I used my character's name, but real life experiences. Because that is something that the autism community sometimes can be pushed under, and I like to put it forward.
And it makes you relatable too. Like people support, and when you were talking about supporting other artists and things like that, that is so key. I mean, and I love the fact that whatever you're doing, you're filming in Bridgeport, you're using Bridgeport people, you're reinvesting back into the community.
Yes.
Listen, I follow you on Facebook, and I saw you had a whole meeting. It looked like the Last Supper. It looked like, at Frankie's Diner, and it had the people who were the actual people that the stories were based off of, and then you had across from them the actor. So tell me a little bit about the meeting of the minds there.
That was so awesome. Let me tell you something. How the port came to birth, I noticed every time me and my friends, we would get up, we would go back, memory lane. Talk about, man, remember this year? Remember this happened? The port, Bridgeport. I'm like, man, we got so many memories. We need to turn this into a film. And then put a message behind it, because we're all doing great. We could have easily took the wrong way and went down the wrong road. But no, now we're all doing great. We're successful. I said, you know what? It's time to start writing this. And then I said, you know what? I want my actors to really know who they're portraying. So I said, Eddie, Weasel, Ray, come on, let's have a good breakfast with the kids, and just start sharing stories like we usually do. And that's what they did. And I'm saying my actors got so much. They're like, oh my goodness, this was awesome. Thank you so much, because now I can portray them better. How they speak, awesome. How they dress.
I think you got a call, Joe, so hang on a second. See, I don't know what happened.
We had a call.
Call back. We must have let it ring too long. So I just think that there's such an opportunity. So I know that you mentioned, create while you wait, help to network. What would you tell, or what advice would you give to people that have talent, that they don't know how to find their voice? What advice would you give an up and coming?
Wow, what a great question. Write what you know. That's what I did. I wrote what I knew, and then I started adding powerful messages, because I'm all about inspiring others. That's what the port is. The port is to inspire people. Go out there, make a move. You feel stuck, you feel lost, break it by doing. You know what? You feel too comfortable? Then guess what? Get uncomfortable. Oh, we might got another call.
Hello and welcome to Connecticut at your service. Do you have a call for Joel?
Hello.
Hello, ¿cómo está?
Hola, Carmen, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien?
Everything's good. You got a call you have a question for Joel?
Yes, Joel Roman. This is Gio Alvarez, Giovanni Alvarez.
Hi, Gio.
And I have two questions for you, Joel. First of all, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Gio. Thanks for calling. How you doing?
Your energy is hitting my house over here. So
¿Verdad que sí?
I could feel it in the house. Number one is when you will be performing your one-man show.
Awesome. Oh, man, Gio, thank you so much. Well, I got a new one-man show called Quarantine, and we're going to be performing it October 27th in Hartford at the Hartford Fringe Festival. And there'll be more information on my website at www.actorjoelroman.com, which is going to be a great show. It's a good 45-minute show of all the funny things that happened during quarantine. So I took about 4 characters from my sitcom, quarantinesitcom.com. Check them out. And I wrote a 45-minute skit about them being out on lockdown. What they're doing. It's funny, it's educational, it's inspirational, and trust me, you're gonna go down memory lane when the whole world shut down. So please be on the lookout for tickets. They're only gonna be $13, Gio. $13 for a 45-minute show. Yeah, in Hartford, Connecticut.
Thank you, thank you, Gio. You said you had another question.
Yes, Mama, I have another one. Joel, let me ask you something. What advice do you have for people that have your energy to come up with some raising the money to do their project?
That is awesome. Great question. And a lot of times people say, Joe, I don't got money to do my project. Well, guess what? Do what I did. Before I started raising money, you know what I did? I started networking. I started finding cameramen, writers, producers. Hey, dude, I got an idea. Let's do it. Like, for example, quarantine sitcom. Big shout out to Terrence Sherrock, my DP in Virginia. I look forward to seeing you soon, brother. We got 3 more episodes to do. Well, Terrence Sherrock, right? I met him where? At a movie theater that was holding a comedy club. So I knew the comedian hosting, right? The comedians. I said, hey, bro, can I be outside passing out my DVDs to my one-man show for free after the comedy? He was like, yeah. So I'm doing that. I'm passing out my DVDs. It ain't easy being golly. $5 right now. ActorJoelRoman.com. Get it. So I'm passing. And Terrence, he's there filming the whole comedy event of these comedians. Even some people from Wild 'N Out. So he looks over, and he told me this. He said, man, this dude's a hustler. And he's from Jersey, so he know, East Coast. He comes, gives me his business card. He said, dude, we gotta work together. Send me some stuff. So I did a film back in Hollywood called Brother's Keeper, and he loved it. I sent it to him. He was laughing. He said, let's work. Next thing you know, he starts writing it. I sent him my one-man show. It ain't easy being godly. He says, Joe, all these characters, we gotta do like an Eddie Murphy type thing. I'm like, what you mean? He like, let's all put them in a house. Next thing you know, quarantine happens. So he starts writing 19 pages, first episode, sitcom. And what happens? Now we send it to festivals. We become a finalist at the International Independent Short Awards in Hollywood, Los Angeles. And then we get a distributor. Big shout out to my man Harrison in Canada, Lateflix.com, who's been supporting us. So, Gio, to answer your question, until you got the courage, because sometimes some people don't have the courage to ask for money. You know what? Get the courage to meet people. Shake hands, talk to them. Hey, what do you do in the business? I always tell my students, you gotta put yourself in that environment. And that's what the movie The Poor is all about. It's about be careful. Be careful of what environment you're in, because whatever your environment is what you usually become. So don't become a product of a negative, toxic environment, because you won't grow there. Also, my mentor told me, he told me this. He said, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need new friends. So get around people who know more about what you want to do, and be a sponge. So in conclusion, raise money, network, and meet people, and see if you could barter. Because we all have talents.
Thank you so much, Gio. Is there anything else?
No, that'll be all. Thank you for everything that you do for the state of Connecticut. Joel, thank you for your energy. And I hope people get electrifying with your energy and start doing their project.
It's been on the shock already, right?
Gio, thank you, Papa, for your time, man. Time is money.
Bye.
Bye, Papi.
So we talked about kind of everything being in Bridgeport and all. So you talked about that your show's going to be in Hartford. What is it going to take to bring your one-man show to Bridgeport? That's
a great question. What's it going to take? People that have a place. People who want to collaborate. I love collaborating with people. We need each other. I always tell, we're not an island unto ourselves. Is that another call?
That is another call for you. You is hot today.
Oh, there it is.
Hello and welcome to Connecticut at your service. You got a call for Joelle, a question for Joelle.
Hi, this is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Listen, first of all, Joelle, your energy is off the hook.
Off the hook.
Yeah, baby. Imagine when the pork come out, baby.
Yeah, and the thing is, I just want to say, it's good to have somebody, representing our city. Thank you for that. Like, you doing your thing.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So I have 2 questions.
Great.
Go for it. I'm
Go
ready,
for it,
Michelle.
Michelle.
You
Come
hear
on.
me? Okay. Listen.
Come on, Boricua. I know you, Boricua. I can tell.
You said you teach class. You teach acting, right?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much. I teach acting. I'm an acting coach.
Nice.
One of these things, Michelle, great question. It's about giving back. And that's something else. I'm like, when work gets slow, I've learned so much. I've taken classes in New York, in Hollywood, and I drop dollars. I mean, $100, like a couple, for mentors and for teachers. So I'm like, what I could do is for people who want to act, give them a chance and not charge them so much. So I offer
Don't
acting
give
classes.
no prices. Go to your website for that.
Yep, $60 an hour.
No price.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I missed
Refer
that.
to the website. We're on public access.
Go to actorjoelroman.com. I'm sorry. But just know it's affordable compared to what I paid. And that's because, you can pay for them, but you paying for people's time a lot, And I know, even though my time is expensive, but I know as a young aspiring actor, I've been doing this since I was 19, Michelle. I'm 40 years old. Woo! So when
With no energy whatsoever, Michelle. None. He's got no energy, right?
So you interested? Anybody interested?
Like extra high. I love it though.
Thank you. So if anyone's ever interested in acting classes, please look me up. Follow me on social media, Joel Roman. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or just go to my website, actorjoelroman.com.
I mean, I see you were talking about having stories and stuff like that. Michelle, I just want to honor, you said you had 2 questions, right? What's your other question?
Yeah. Okay, so, hello, you can hear me?
I can hear you,
hear you.
Michelle.
Okay, so besides this project support, because you said you after the project you create whatever. What's on the agenda afterwards?
Awesome.
Is there something going?
That is a great question. Oh my.
What's popping?
Yeah, what's popping? I was just talking to my sister Carmen about that before the show. What's popping is the spinoff of The Port. All right, The Port is gonna be called The Center, and it's gonna be based off detention centers. All right, almost like do you remember the show The Oz on HBO? Yep. I want to do that, but for the youth. And of course, I'm gonna be playing the priest, Padre Nino. And it's gonna be so educational, inspirational, helping those in the youth. And what I would like to do is even use as for some of the actors, kids in the center. All I need is funding. So hopefully Carmen, who's real good at grants, can help me.
I mean, there's definitely opportunity. So not only for that, but other inspiring people. You just gotta, know people like you that can connect them or just be natural connectors. Thank you so much, Michelle. Did you have another question or anything like that?
No,
or you good?
that's it. And like I said, Joel, keep doing your thing. I'm following you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate you. I appreciate Bridgeport. Bridgeport, I love you. You've been supporting me. The only reason why The Port is happening is because the community has stepped up and they've given time, love, money. And Michelle, if you're in New York, come see me in September. 1 in a Million musical.
Or Hartford.
Or Hartford in October. Woo!
Thank you, Michelle.
Tell your friends too. Thank you.
So let's make sure people know your website to make sure that they're getting information, because that's where they're going to be able to follow you. And I love your energy. I know that you're an actor, a writer, and a producer. I know that you were talking, that people have already been sharing their stories with you. So there is an opportunity to build and have individuals. And I love how you said that networking in the ass. We are people of service, right? And it's so easy for me to say, oh my God, Joel needs, let's hook him up. Pero cuando hay preguntar for yourself, you can't. It's very hard. So I think that you're helping people find their voice that are in the creative arts. And I think that that's just an amazing thing. So if you guys want to hear from him, if you want to have him as a guest on your show or have him come speak to your youth or Let him know where he wants to have his next meeting somewhere in Bridgeport like he did at Frankie's Diner. I think that there's so much opportunity to create, and I think that Bridgeport has many, many stories to be told.
Many, and that's another thing I would like to do. Like I was talking back there, I want to turn the Port film into a miniseries. Because I've received so many stories from those in Bridgeport and out of Bridgeport who moved out with testimonies. We just need a little more funding to do that, and hopefully we're going to try to get at least 2 more, an episode or 2 of someone else's story with the funding that we already did with the crowdfund in LA, God willing, if we don't use it all for the film. Keep supporting, keep following, keep loving, keep blessing, stay uncomfortable. That's the only way you grow. All right, always remember this, the only way you grow is being uncomfortable, okay? Being authentic and spontaneous. That's how you break the cycle. All right, you want better? Go for it. Chase your dreams, dream big, all right? And focus.
I love that you focus. I think that's really what I've gotten. Probably I've been following you for a little over a year, because I remember I was like, and people were giving you money because they believed in you. They believed in what you're trying to do. So sometimes it's just the ask. And you did that, and I know that you had put up the information for people to donate and to give, and a lot of people did. You were able to do the film. You're able to do it the way that you want to, where you want it done. And I don't think that this is the end. I think that this is an opportunity for us to kind of see who you are, because I haven't seen too many Latinos that are doing, one-man shows like Elizalde Castro. And,
you gotta send me his link.
Every time he comes to Bridgeport,
yes,
I don't care how many times I've seen his show, I go see the show. So I think that this is really important in what we're doing. Joel, we wish you all the best of success. This is not the end. So if you're looking to book him, if you wanted to see him, make sure that you're going onto his website. I think we also posted his phone number. You can find this interview on YouTube. Follow us each Tuesday. This is Carmen Nieves at Connecticut at your service. And this show is about highlighting everyday individuals that are making a difference in their community, whether it's in who they are, the work that they do, or the nonprofits that they represent. This isn't the end. Join us again next week. And this is Carmen Nieves and Joel Roman with Connecticut at your service.
Yeah, El Nino, baby! Woo! Thank you, Carmen!